Thank you very much, President. Now, some of you may remember Paul Sullivan, who was the Australian High Commissioner, who was usually sitting at that table over there. So for the privilege of there, you might want to make some donation. He got in touch with me this morning. He was very, very concerned. He received a Queen's Birthday Honours, you may recall, for his work on the Australia-New Zealand relationship. He had a call in turn from Tony Abbott, who, as you know, is one of these people who comes up with brilliant ideas of how to remove or reduce the number of people coming as refugees by boat. And there's a lot of concern in Australia about the fallout from the weekend, but we won't mention the R word, where they, rugby, not retirement, where a lot of Australians are planning to come over to New Zealand, not as tourists, but to immigrate. And Tony Abbott had some sort of solution going there. So I've been in meetings this morning, so sorry my casualness, no tie, but I was with Jerry Matapeo trying to work through some of the things, some of Tony's ideas. Now, what they need, and the reason why it's relevant to you, is that they really want the input from the Rotary Club of Wellington as a respected group of leaders as to whether the plan is acceptable. The plan being put forward by Paul, Tony Abbott and our own friend Jerry is to allow the individual states of Australia to become provinces of New Zealand. Which seemed like a cunning plan, so they won't go on boats and won't rush over to New Zealand. And the other thing is to claim their right to become the West Island. Now, the best way of indicating whether you have support for this scheme is if you wish to support it, then please put some money in the box, which would be much appreciated. We have to be gracious in what happened over the weekend. Now, I also got a call from Baz Luhrmann, who he's well known for doing things like the Moulin Rouge, the Australian, and Strictly Ballroom. So he's got this sort of physical film theme going as a film director, people who are able to do high kicks or move around with some degree of agility. And he's got a new film coming out called Coolangatta Gate. And now, what I need from you is anybody who's been an actor, either professionally or amateur, could you please stand? There must be, please. Now, have a look at these people. So, as Rotarians, what we need to do is to help them find the actor who's going to play the man from Coolangatta Gate, Dan Carter. So if you're at that table of one of these famous potential actors, please put some money on the plate. I'm not sure which one will really get the role, but Baz is looking for input from us as to who should play for this famous Australian footballer, Dan Carter, from, is it Southgate or Coolangatta Gate? It's someplace like that. Now, as you know, there seems to be a place where when you do retire as a rugby player, there is some interesting potential. I'd like all those who have played rugby in their career to please stand. Now, sit down. Please sit down. If you have never been to France, whether you're not interested in being in France, no, well, this is really interesting. Now, Olivier, could you please stand? Olivier has a special role. He's got a new assignment working for the Paris Bazière Club. They're looking for a master's team. And you gentlemen are really it, so please do contribute. Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic career in Paris and your retirement. And lastly, as I'm noticing the agitation from our illustrious President, any of those of you who are relieved in the result that came through on Sunday, please contribute if you have anything left. Thank you very much.